Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review of Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 7, Episode 9, Pins and Needles. Y'all, this episode was a whole lot. It was a lot, but it wasn't a lot at the same time. I guess it was just they split the scene so many times, and normally I try to group them together, but I didn't take notes on my computer. I did it with my hand, writing and stuff. So I was like, oh, yeah, I can't split it like I want to, or I'll lose my place. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, one thing. When I had did the trailer review, I know a lot of y'all was, probably wasn't feeling what I was saying in regards to the baby being Zach's and all that stuff. Because yes, you're right, the DNA tests have not come yet. And because I've seen cases where they have gotten the DNA test same day, but in this Tyler Perry realm, it's not gonna happen until episode 11. So yeah, and only thing I was doing, I was just going off the trailer. I tried my best. I try my best not to try to look into the future in regards to these episodes, because I really want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. I want to, look at the show and then come talk to y'all and talk to y'all about what I saw, not about what's going to happen in the future. I just want to be surprised just like everybody else. So when I'm doing my reviews or doing my trailer breakdown, I'm just talking about what's going on in this moment, or what I think that could go on. I'm not trying to be in episode 10 and episode 11, and somebody kind of got a little crazy with me, yelling at me. I'm like, I can read real well. Like, you ain't gotta make your letters real big and bold like that. Like, let's not be disrespectful. Like, I can read, I can see lowercase letters too, so it is what it is. Just keep it cute. If you disagree with something that I say, I'm okay with it, but you can still be respectful in our disagreements, because we love each other. I hope y'all do a little bit. But in this community right here, we can respectfully disagree. We ain't got to be yelling and talking crazy and telling people to do homework. Homework is in the past, not the future. It's not future work. It's when the teacher we talk about stuff that's already been done, right? That's homework, not future. You can't get a grade for the future because you don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, just to let everybody know, let's still be respectful in the comments. I love you. You love me. We one big happy family. Okay? We ain't got to be all these big caps and all that stuff. Now, that's crazy. Now, I try my best not to block nobody because I want people to be free, in their commentary and how they feel. But when you get disrespectful, it's a thin line between love and hate, child. That block button will work. All right. Now, that's it. Let's go ahead and get into this Tyler Perry Sistas Season 7, Episode 9. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. The more you do like, the more you subscribe, the more I do go through the algorithm and more people start to view my content. And let's go. All right. So Karen, Zach out there sitting in a waiting room. Karen comes out. She is like, what did I just hear? She's still stunned. She like twins. So she go out and she goes to tell Zach, like, hey Zach, I got something to tell you, like, you're gonna have to double your child support. And Zach like, what? She said, we having twins. What? I'm having a Zach and a Zackeisha? So the names don't matter. I said, Zach. Child, if these kids be named Zach and Zackeisha, child, push them twins right back up that birthing canal, because that's gonna be some mess. But anyway, and she said that the results are not in yet, but he's so excited. He get to talking about, oh, I get to get double strollers, double sneakers, double Benzes. I say, thanks, Zach, can I be your child? Because I want a Benz too. I mean, since you just want to go buy people Benzes as soon as they turn 16 years old, okay. But anyway, but Karen is still just kind of taken aback. She just like, but she keeps, because she was saying, I'm having twins, like the results not in yet. And so he was just saying like, I got to do a lot of things. I got to do a lot of things. And he was just like, because he wanted to hug her. So she was just like, okay, yeah. And so while he's hugging her, Fatima comes in. She looking like, so what's going on here? Like, why are we touching and agreeing? Like, what's going on here? And then because Fatima is not happy, he like, yeah, we having twins. Now he's talking about, tell her, Karen, tell her, Karen, tell her. And then Karen is like, I'm having twins. Because you can still see in her face, she like, I'm having twins. And Fatima looking like, what? And here goes Zach. Yep, I bumped that thing up. I said, really, Zach? You gonna be sitting over here talking about you done knocked that thing up 2 times? You done bumped that thing up in front of Fatima? Like, is that cool? That is not cool. I understand you happy and all, but you ain't gotta be so happy. Especially like Zach cannot read the room. It's like he's just focused on these twins and Zach and Zakisha, to where Fatima over there looking like this is something else that we have to deal with, right? So Karen gets a phone call, so she go over there and she go call her, talk to her mama. She just like, hey mama, I'm gonna need to meet you over there at the shop. So she go ahead and leave because she ain't gonna meet her mama. So Zach just looking at Fatima, are you okay? Are you okay? And he just happy. He talking about, yep, I blew that thing up. And Fatima saying she okay, but Fatima is not okay. She's not okay. Like, I'm happy you happy, Zach, but I'm not happy that I'm not happy. Like that's crazy. And so Fatima like, you know what? I gotta go to work. And when he reaches out to kind of kiss her, he stuck his head out and poked them lips out for the kiss. Child, Fatima turned her whole back and walked. And Zach looking like, so you not okay? No, she not okay, boy. Can you read the room? Y'all got 1, 2, 3 kids. I mean, we don't know if they're yours yet because the results ain't came in. But yeah, it's looking like it. But you know what I was thinking? Because now y'all got me looking into the future. So I had to go and read the synopsis and all that stuff. But it said that the people, they're going to be surprised. So I'm just like, I mean, Zach real happy, but at the end of the day, Zach, them might not be your kids. Because I was like, there would be a Tyler Perry event making Zach really, really happy as if this is going to be something for him. But on the other hand, Fatima would be real, real happy. So who's going to be surprised here? Is it going to be Zach surprised, Fatima surprised, Karen surprised? Because whomever they thinking is what it is, that's going to be the surprise. Because if I'm thinking, which I really don't know, but let's just say I say Zach the daddy. But then surprise, it's Aaron. And what if y'all sitting over there saying Aaron the daddy, and then surprise, it's Zach. So I guess the surprise is for whoever think it's the opposite. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and go. So here we go. So Sabrina get a call for Rich. Rich and Sabrina gonna go on a double date. Okay, whatever. So Karen's end up calling Sabrina, talking about meet her at the house. So they gonna do all that. All right. So now over here back at Andy's office, Penelope is there. And so Penelope is scared because she's talking about what's going on. I'm scared, I'm confused. I'm like, girl, how is you so scared and you confused? And a couple episodes ago, because that's in the homework, this what happened in the past. You already seen that he has these fake IDs and he's took your credit cards. Like, I don't understand why you so scared and so confused. I would have thought that you would be trying to have an escape plan, not sit here and still be in a relationship with this man, being scared and confused. But anyway, so Andy is telling Penelope, look, you're going to have to get as far away from Gary as you can. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to go ahead and go. And so now Penelope is really scared and confused. So now Sabrina get a phone call. Sabrina calls Maurice, and Maurice says that he's back with Grayson, like they made up or whatever, and said that Grayson saved him, child, from the house of horrors. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And Sabrina starts to tell Maurice about the whole thing at the clinic and how she saw Karen and all that stuff. And here go Maurice. Well, tell me more, or whatever. But then I think it's then Maurice ended up getting a phone call telling my bye girl, I gotta go. This my man calling. All right. So now back over at Andy's office, Penelope is over there still scared and confused while Andy tells Penelope, look, this is what's going on. So back in the day, whenever Gary was in high school, he had his high school sweetheart, right? And so they ended up going to the prom together. While they were at the prom, they ended up getting into this whole argument about her drinking. So apparently the girl was drinking too much and it blew up. But no one seen the girl leave the prom. Gary left alone. So where is the prom date? Where's she at? And so come to find out, she missing. Either she unalived, and they tried to she unalived. And they tried to pin it on Gary, but they didn't have enough evidence. And so I was like, what? So Gary been doing this stuff since high school? Unaliving people, disappearing acts, and all of this stuff. Like, this is crazy. So Andy is telling Penelope, like, look, Gary is the devil. Gary is evil. Like, he's sitting over here praying on you because he knows that Penelope wants this family. He knows what Penelope wants. So he is preying on her insecurities while all wrapping her up in this scheme to take everything she got, to really suck her dry. And so she was telling Penelope, like, he lies, and he lies so much that he thinks that he's telling the truth. I said, dang, this is crazy. Like, Penelope, you need to go figure out your life, child. You in this whole baby that you should have had a month or so ago. But anyway, so now, I didn't get a picture, but Miss Willis goes to Gary's office, right? So Miss Willis goes to Gary's office, and she was talking about it stinking there, and it reeks and all that stuff. So Gary says that he wants to warn her about Andy, but then, hold on, wait. So she goes into the office. She talks about how bad it smells. And then Gary said he wants to talk to her about something, and he wanted to warn her about something. And then Miss Willis is just like, so what's up? And so Gary is like, he wanted her to invest in the company. And Miss Willis like, no, I'm not investing into your company. Like, I did this a while ago, but when you were with the Archer Foundation, whatever the Archer Foundation funds is, you, what's the word she used? Decimated it. Like, you depleted it. You decimated it. Like, it's no longer a foundation anymore. And it's all because of you. And apparently the foundation took a really big hit, but Gary, you came out just fine. Like, what's up with that? So Gary over there looking like, oh, what? Okay, so now that that's done, Pam is at the office. Pam is at her salon, and with Karen, and they're talking about this whole rooster riches thing, and Pam storing all her product over in Karen's shop, child. But I guess Pam making money, so I mean, whatever. And while they're over there talking about Rooster Riches, Karen mom comes in, and that's when Karen tells her mom, like, I want to talk to you. They go into the back room. They have this whole conversation, and she tells her mom that she's having twins. And the mom is like, oh my God, are you okay? She was like, yeah, I'm just still trying to process everything. Just trying to make sure everything, is good. Like, and then the mom says, so is Zach the father? And Karen says, no, we haven't got the DNA test, but she feels that Zach is the father. Zach is excited. He thinks he's the father, but I mean, all this excitement don't mean nothing if Zach ain't even a father. So we getting excited for the emotion. Like, it's not for the fact, it's for the emotion, because none of this is actually stone cold evidence that this man is your baby daddy. But anyway, nevertheless, the mom is excited and she just wants Karen to take care of herself. So, all right. So Maurice gets the phone call from Grayson and they're talking about having a dinner tonight and all that stuff. So that's what that is. Back over at Gary's office, Miss Willis is there and she's just looking at Gary. She's like, okay, Gary, why do you have me here? So that's when Gary begins to talk about, like, Gary says that he did not want to bring up the past because all that stuff that happened with the Archer Foundation. So he don't want to talk about the past. He wants to talk about what's going on now. So he brings up Andy. And he says that he wants to warn her about Andy because she is not suitable to handle a woman of her caliber to be her defense attorney. So in her divorce case. And so Miss Willis just looking at him. And Miss Willis is looking at him like, okay, so tell me what do I need to know about Andy? So Gary goes into this whole diatribe about, Andy ain't no good. Like, she's promiscuous. She was sleeping with people on the job. And like, she had, the FBI is after her. Like, all of this stuff. Like, he's just dragging Andy. And while he's dragging Andy, Miss Willis just looking at him like, and so Miss Willis is just like, you know what? Yes, I do my research, Gary, and you know that I do. And she said, and what I did come to find out is that, Gary, you were the lead in regards to that FBI investigation, and that you are the one that bought Andy the penthouse. And then she talking about some Andy must got some real good for you to be buying her penthouses and buying her Rolls Royces and all this other stuff, right? And so she just read Gary. She just like, Gary, pretty much, I know you and I know the type of person that you are. And by you telling me that I don't need to work with Andy really, really makes me want to work with her even more. And then she brings up Jordan, like Andy and that Councilman Jordan. Oh, they're going to be real good together. Here go Gary. No, he's not Councilman yet. It looks like he about to be. And then as she's talking and reading Gary his rights, she just like, Gary, you are a small narcissist fish in a big overachieving pond. And then she says, you better, what she said? Swing along before you get hurt. I was like, okay, tell us how you really gonna do, Gary, because it's really about time for Gary to get a taste of his own medicine. Because at the end of the day, Gary is messing with everybody. Like, he feels as if he can control everything and everybody when he can't. And I'm so glad that Miss Willis told him, like, you ain't who you think you are. You know what I'm saying? You are not who. Why you over here trying to put Andy down and make it seem like she is not suitable? You the one ain't suitable. And guess what, Gary? You ain't even getting her money. You ain't getting Miss Willis money because you really needed to get out of this bind you in right now. But anyway, so Penelope is crying. Penelope is like, oh my God, I'm having a chat with this man. She says she can't believe everything that's going on, which, yeah, you really can. And then, Andy says, look, I called you here because she has a plan. Like, she has this whole plan to get Gary out of her life. And she said that she said because she has a friend that's going to help out. I wonder who this friend is, because while y'all got me looking into the future, we're going to talk about it on when I do my trailer breakdown. Somebody is going to actually, but it says something like an enemy. One of her, she's going to team up with her enemy to help her. But anyway, she says she has a friend here. It says she has a friend that's going to help her, help her escape from Gary pretty much. And she says, go home and pack your things bit by bit. And she's going to tell her what to do. And so while Andy is telling Penelope, how she's going to get her away from Gary, then the phone rings. Because after Miss Willis told Gary all of that bad information, like, I'm not investing in you. So Gary's upset. Now he's calling Penelope. So while Penelope is there talking to Andy, the phone rings and it's Gary blowing her phone up. But Penelope don't answer. All right. So now all of the girls are over Karen's house. At first I thought it was Sabrina's house in the trailer, but all the girls are over Karen's house. And Sabrina is telling Karen, like, they can't really just stay long because they got this double date. They got to go meet Rich and Tony. And so, I mean, Danni just says, hey, I'm having twins. And they are so happy. Like, we're going to be double aunties and all of that. And then Danni is like, so is Zach the father? Is Zach not the father? And then Karen is just like, you know what? The results are not in yet. And that's pretty much it. So Sabrina and Danni, they get up and they leave. They was like, girl, you could have texted us this, that you was having twins. But I understand Karen wanted to be, in the moment just to get their reactions because they were loving on her and they were really, really happy. And then Danni is leaving, talking about, okay, you got your buy one, get one free, baby. I don't know why I thought that was so funny. Buy one, get one free, baby. All right. So Andy is still left hugging on her. Then she says she has to get ready to go as well. So back over at Zach and Fatima's, Zach is still excited. Like, he's so excited. He on the internet looking up baby stuff. He talking about, child, we can go get, matching strollers and matching shoes, like all of this other stuff. And so Fatima is just like, Fatima is not really having it. She's just like, I don't know, Zach. Like, this is a whole lot. She just said this is a whole lot. We went from, and then she asked, where is baby Michael? Oh, well, he's in therapy. I was like, we ain't seen Michael since they done brought him home. I guess they got Michael taken care of because I sure ain't seen. Hey, y'all seen Michael? I ain't seen him either. Anyway, so Fatima's just like, it's a lot going on. Like, we went from having one baby to two babies to three babies, and we don't even know if it's your baby. Like, we don't even know that. So anyway, Zach is just, he's over the hill, and Fatima like, you know what? I gotta go. And Zach is like, oh, so we back doing this? Because it's like, Zach, you not reading the room. You so excited about having these babies where you are really disregarding Fatima's feelings. So she said she gotta go. So she walk off and she leave. All right. So Maurice and Grayson, they over to the house. Maurice fixed Grayson some food. They excited to be around each other, but it seems like Grayson always got something to complain about. He getting on my nerves at this point. He bring up the fixation page. Now, the boy ain't got no job, so this all he got right now is this fixation page. And so Maurice is just like, I mean, this is what I'm doing. It's how I'm making my money. And so Grayson saying it's making him uncomfortable because he out here in the public. The man ain't no streetwalker. I mean, he doing what he got to do to make his money. I mean, what you want him to do? And then he said that he didn't think that he'll be with somebody that got a page. Okay, you got to, I don't know. Anyway, so Danni is waiting for the girls. Danni is waiting for Sabrina and the two guys to come to the dinner so they can have dinner. So while she's waiting, Fatima walks up and they, see each other. They have drinks. And so they start to talk about, my man, about their kids and they whatever. So Danni starts to say about, her man moving from Atlanta and the wife is on deployment and all that stuff. And then Danni tells her about how she tried to get it in with her man back over at the job site. And the kids walked in and seen her naked. And And then Fatima says, have you talked to Carisha about it? She was like, yeah, I talked to, Carisha about it. And, she's still working through it. So then Fatima brings up, Zach and the kids and all that stuff. Well, Danni says, we heard about Zach and the kids and the twins and all that stuff. And Fatima's just like, you know what? I love Zach and I'm going to love his kids, but she just feels like he's not taking her feelings into consideration. And both of them are really telling each other, like, y'all just going to have to talk about it and all that stuff. Danni says she liked Tony, but she not sure how she gonna handle the, juggle this whole kid situation. But both of them are going through the same thing when it comes to kids and how to navigate and having their feelings, having their feelings being heard into consideration and all of that. So yeah. Back over with Maurice. Oh Lord, child, my charger. My phone trying not to charge, right? So back over with Maurice. Maurice is just like, look, Grayson, I know about the whole fixation page. And then he tells him also, like, Sabrina, his friend, is going to end up getting a job. Hopefully she'll be bank manager soon. And he'll start back to work at the bank. And he said he got 6 months saved up. So hopefully they can hold them off until he can get a better job. And that's when Grace's like, oh, you got 6 months. You might need to keep doing the fixation thing. But my thing is this. I'm like, Maurice, Grayson ain't your man like that. And y'all met on this fixation page. How do you know he not trying to knock you out of the fixation page so he can start up his own fixation page and take all your clients? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wouldn't be so quick to stop my hustle just because this dude you just met wants you to. Like, Maurice, come on now. I mean, he cute now, but you better keep your paper coming. Anyway, so Fatima ends up leaving or whatever, and then the guys and Sabrina, they walk up, and yeah, they pretty much start talking about the kids. the kids. All right. So Gary, he is upset because of all the FBI stuff. And that's when, the white guy comes in and he's telling Gary, like you got a whole bunch of charges you trumped up on. Like, you got embezzlement charges, wire fraud, mail fraud, bank fraud, and Miss Willis ain't trying to put an investment into your company. What are you going to do? I said, dang, Gary charges sound like Portia husband Simon Guarbadia. All these fraud charges. And Gary just trying to figure out what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he really gonna do? And he don't know. So now, back over here at the dinner, like, they bring up all these kids and they showing pictures of the kids. And while Sabrina and Tony showing each other pictures, Tony showing her Tonetta and little Tony, Danni and Rich over there looking like what? So how your day been? How's the juice bar? Like, what you got going on? Or whatever. Then they bring up, oh yeah, now my friend Karen, Sabrina, my friend Karen having twins. They like, oh my God, all these kids talking. All right, so that's pretty much what that is. So back over at the house, Fatima gets home again. And that's when Zach and Fatima, they really start to have a conversation. And the conversation goes like, you can't keep walking out every time you feel the way that you feel. And so Fatima is just like, this news is crazy. It's a lot to take in at the moment. Like, she's in law school. Like, how is she going to be able to juggle all of this stuff with these kids and all of that? And Zach is like, you know what? I got you. You don't have to worry about it. And then Fatima's just like, I want you to take my feelings into consideration because I understand you're happy, but you're not really looking at me. You're not seeing me. And so Zach is just like, you know what? I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? He gonna try to focus on what's right here, what's right in front of them. And then Fatima's just like, and you ain't even got the DNA test right. And you over here, going up talking about you done shot the club up twice. But you ain't even got the DNA test in right. Like, let's take this one step at a time. And so Zach is just like, you know what, you right, you right. So he take his hand and he pledged it up. He was like, I swear that I'm gonna take Fatima feelings into consideration, and he gonna, do whatever he can. He did whatever, swearing his oath and all that stuff. And so Zach is like, and Zach brings up again, like, yeah, we already talked that you, while you walking out like that, it's gonna be some consequences and some repercussions. So I guess they gonna, I guess make up or whatever. And he was just saying, you can't, don't, by you leaving this house, we not gonna do that no more. We gonna talk it out. And so they end up being happy again, and they go get something to eat. But yeah, I feel like they should have just had this conversation at first. At the end of the day, they should have just had this conversation at first. Because at the end of the, and also, if all three of these kids is Zach, it is going to change the trajectory of their relationship. They have a lot to juggle. Like she said, Michael got special needs. And then you got these twins. And it looks like something is going to be going on with the twins. But like everybody says, we haven't got a DNA test. So we don't even know if these kids are his as far as the twins. All right. But they are making a conscious effort to talk to each other, not walk out on each other, and to take each other, more of Fatima's feelings into consideration. Because Fatima always taking Zach's feelings into consideration. All right. So, yeah. So Sabrina and Danni, they end up talking again or whatever. They still back at the place. And Sabrina and Danni. So they talking, and Sabrina feels some type of way. Danni is saying she just trying to roll with it. And Danni told Sabrina that she thinking too much in her head. Just let it flow. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kissing on each other though. Everybody kissing. The auntie probably get Tony and Tonetta for the night. And Rich is gonna go home with Sabrina. And Danni tells Sabrina, you might not need to go freeze your eggs. Freeze your dusty eggs. Why she say dusty eggs? But you might not need to freeze your dusty eggs because you probably get pregnant tonight. The way, if you and Rich go home and y'all do it right. I don't know. But then they show this whole scene where they go back to Danni's house and they gonna have a get it in session. So now Gary is upset again, and he's looking at the news. And let me see. All right, I'm gonna go here. So Danni gets upset again, and he's looking at the news, right? So while he's looking at the news, he is the headline comes up that the woman lied on Jordan, and Jordan is still in a race to become councilman. And Gary gets upset. He takes his brand new laptop and he beats it. And the white guy here, he was like, how are you going to blame Andy? Like, how are you going to blame Andy for this? But Gary just knows this is Andy's fault. Like, he just know. And then he was saying, like, these girls, like they think that they just come into his life and ruin everything. But mind you, Gary, you are the one that ruined these girls' life. This all comes from when you were in high school. And I wanted to bring something to you all's attention. When Gary was talking to Miss Willis, he said his wife. And Miss Willis said ex-wife. And then Gary corrected and said ex-wife. So is Gary still married to that lady, to his wife? That made me kind of think, because when we get into the trailer breakdown that I'm going to do, because I try to do them on Saturdays, when we get into that trailer breakdown, it says that an enemy is going to help Andy. And I'm thinking that it may be Gary's wife, ex-wife, that's going to team up to stop Gary. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm going ahead now. But anyway, yeah. So Gary blaming everybody but himself. And that's pretty much what that is. But anyway, y'all, this is Tyler Perry Sistas, season 7, episode 9, Pins and Needles. The episode was pretty good for what it was. I just hate that they broke it up so much. They just broke it up and to where I was repeating the same things over and over and over again. Like, I hate when they do that, when they could just make one big scene or not have 3 scenes, just maybe have 2, because it does kind of get redundant, me saying the same thing over and over again. But let me know what y'all think in the comments in regards to this episode of Tyler Perry Sistas. For overall, it was a pretty decent episode. I think it's going to get better tomorrow because somebody got to be coming up missing in the future while y'all got me doing future work instead of the past work. All right. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all have a great day. This is Sheila. Be love. Bye.